Okay, here at the Hinchy Gymnasium for a JV game between the Arlington Eagles and the West Rutland Golden Horde. Opening tip, won by Drake Jankowski, got it back to Maxim. Maxim to Hart, ball thrown over the top to Keaton Wright Chapman. Crosses up his man, drives, and ball's knocked out of his hand. And last touch by the Eagles, so West Side will be inbounding from underneath their offensive basket. Ball's kicked into Matt Hart in the corner. Maxim off the dribble finds Kyle Laughlin down in the post for an easy layup. Good ball movement. Arlington Eagles kick it out. 3-pointers, no good. Jankowski picks up the rebound, looking up, and throws the ball up. I think he was trying to hit Wright Chapman, and he was not looking back. Ball's thrown in to number 2, which is Chase Hoyt. Hoyt dribble drive, kicks it to the corner, throws it to number 5, Morris, and get a travel on Morris before he's able to make that pass over to number 4. So 2-0 here, 7:08. Thank you. Ball's gonna be inbounded by Jankowski to Maxim. Maxim, it looks like they're gonna run man. Gets picked up. Jankowski gets it to Hart to Wright Chapman. Maxim with the ball in the corner. Off the dribble, gets it to Laughlin. Laughlin finds Jankowski. Jankowski puts the ball on the deck. Dribble drive, and we're gonna have a foul call. It's going to go on Hoyt, his first, team first. Jankowski with the ball, out of bounds, looking to throw it in, gets it to Laughlin. Laughlin's gonna put up the 3-pointer, rattles around, no good, falls down, ball's thrown over to number 5, Morris. Morris comes up across the timeline, dribble, kicks it to 4. I'm assuming Smith. Ball's over to Hoyt. Hoyt throws it down into the short corner, back out to Hoyt. Hoyt dribble drive, throws it up, no good. Rebound comes down, no good. Battle for the rebound, 23. Madison gets the rebound, kicks it out, long 3-pointers, no good. Maxim off the dribble drive, penetrates, tries skipping the ball across to Wright Chapman, gets picked off by Hoyt. Hoyt drives, kicks it, ball up off the backboard, and is good on the layup for Morris. Off the turnover, Arlington turns into points, 2-2. That ball thrown over, chest pass. They got picked off, but knocked out of bounds. Ball thrown into the backcourt to Maxim. Dribbles up across the timeline, waiting for his offense to get set up to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman takes a dribble, gets it to Hart. Laughlin, Maxim in the corner. Dribble drive, cross, kicks it to Jankowski, back out to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman, 3-pointer in and out of the hoop. And on that rebound, the ball is dribbled out of bounds. So still 2-2, 5:30 to go here in the first quarter in the Hinchy Gymnasium. Jankowski throws the ball into the backcourt to Maxim. Maxim being picked up by Hoyt, and it goes off Hoyt's foot out of bounds. So another trip here for the Horde, looking to put some more points on the board. Kicked over to Laughlin. Laughlin back to Maxim. Maxim with the dribble, skips it across to Wright Chapman, back to Maxim. Hits Laughlin, back to Maxim. Good ball movement by the Horde, moving around the outside. Hart gets it into Jankowski. Jankowski being worked over, gets it to Hart, back over. Good ball movement. Maxim back to Wright Chapman, back to Laughlin. Laughlin back to Maxim. And looking for the pass. The player cut away and he shuffled his feet. Ball's thrown in. Goes off the hands, but number 13 is able to dribble drive, throws it off the backboard, or off the rim, no good. Hoyt picks Maxim pocket, ball down, Hoyt in the lane with the rebound, dribbles back out, kick to the corner. Just dribbling above the timeline. Big floated pass over to Hoyt. Hoyt dribbles it back up top. Arlington just passing the ball around the outside, not a lot of movement away from the ball. Kicks it up top to cross, down into the post. Matson jumps up in the lane, and number 5, Morris, I think he fouled in the act of shooting. And he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. So Jankowski picks up his first, team's first. 4:05 to go here in the first quarter, still sitting on 2-2. 2 layups for each team, or layup for each team to this point. Morris at the line, shooting 2. First one's up. Rattles around, falls through. Subs coming in for the Golden Horde, Garrett Waite and Brendan Forrest. Second attempt by Morris is up. That rattles around as well, no good, comes off, comes down to Waite. Maxim dribbling, looking to push the ball up, skips it over to Waite. Waite's gonna put up the long 3 off the bank, banks in the long 3-pointer. Hoyt brings the ball in. Ball skipped into Matson in the lane. Skip down to Morris. Back over, high skip over the top. Throws it down into Morris in the low post. Hoyt thinks about the 3, gets back into Morris, hits it Matson in the center of the lane. Ties the score at 5. So 5-5, 3:23 to go. Maxim with the ball. Waiting for his offense, gets set up, runs off the screen, gets it into Brendan Forrest. Brendan Forrest dribble drive, up and off the backboard with the left hand. The make. Hoyt gets the ball off the inbound. Dribbles up, skips it back out to Morris. Skips over number 13 for the long 3 by Cross. So Bailey Cross, that 3-pointer gives Arlington a 1-point lead, 8-7. Maxim comes up over the timeline, gets over to Jankowski. Jankowski with a few dribbles, hits Hart in the corner, skips it back out to Maxim. Maxim's gonna work off a screen, throws it in to Hart. The ball gets bounced around, and it's picked off by Arlington. Big hook type of pass over the top, winds up in Hoyt's hands. Worse to Morris, gets it in the post. Matson in that short post again. Jankowski looking to push the ball up the court. Dribbles, drives, goes all the way to the rim. Nobody stopped the ball. Nice finish by Jankowski. Gives West Rutland the 1-point lead again. West Rutland working a little bit of pressure there. Try to slow them down. Hoyt brings it up across. Ball skipped in. They're able to find that Matson kid in the center of the lane almost every single time for that jumper. Maxim dribble drive, kicks to Jankowski, who hits Hart down in the short corner. Good battle by Brendan Forrest, but last touch by him out of bounds. So 9-8, Golden Horde with the lead, minute 44. Back into the game, Wright Chapman for the Horde. And out of the game, Matt Hart. And into the game for Arlington Eagles, number 22, Davis. Number 20, Yonks. Nice dribble drive there. Jankowski comes down with the rebound. Goes up, a little bit of contact. Nobody stopped the ball again. Jankowski gets all the way to the rim again. Ball's thrown in. Number 14, Olsen, or 13. Moves cross. Foul is going to go. Foul is going to go on Brendan Forrest, his first, team second. And Bailey Cross is going to go to the line to shoot 2. That shot is off the front of the rim and no good. 11-8, 1:10 to go here in the first quarter. After a slow start, both teams are able to fill the bucket a little bit here as of late. That shot's up, and that one is good. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line. Ball comes into Maxim. He brings it up across the timeline, crosses up his man, drives, gives it to Waite in the corner. Back to Jankowski, gets it back up to Maxim, over to Wright Chapman. Back to Maxim, gets it over to Jankowski. Jankowski dribbling, working his man, little stutter step, and he's going to get called for travel, shuffled his feet before he's able to get that pass over to Brendan Forrest. Ball's thrown in, the cross, dribble drive, goes in against Forrest, up off the backboard, no good. Nice rebound by Forrest, and he gets his pocket pick from the backside. And they're gonna say last touch. Feet got tangled there, called it incidental, and it was last touch by Forrest as he's going to the ground. 38.7. The ball's thrown in. Maxim working the dribble in the backcourt. Got him trapped. Nice steal by Maxim. Dribble finds Wright Chapman, short corner on the backside. That shot's off the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Duffney, and Wright Chapman's going to pick up a foul at half court on a hold. Team third. Wright Chapman's first. Ball's thrown into the backcourt. 21 seconds. Move the ball, throw it in. Find the guy in the center of the lane. It's kicked out to Hoyt. Hoyt dribble. Gonna be launched the 3-pointer and buries it. 6 seconds to go. Hopefully Maxim recognizes what's left for time on the clock. Launches a half-court shot, and that's no good. So the quarter ends, Arlington with a 12-11 lead. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back for second quarter action. Okay, so we're back here for second quarter action on the court for the Golden Horde. Forrest, Jankowski, Maxim, Laughlin, and Hart. For the Arlington Eagles, Duffney, and Davis, Yonts, and number 5, Morris. Get it to Morris down on the baseline, skips it out, ball's up top. They're moving the ball pretty well on the outside of the zone here. Takes a couple dribbles, Morris kicks it back up top. Ball skipped across the 30, really wide pass, not able to be handled by Morris. A little too much pace on that. Little phantom full court pressure there and then backed off. Maxim dribbles up across the timeline, looking for his man, finds Brendan Forrest down underneath the basket. Nice find by Maxim, nobody picked up Forrest down there, easy layup for him with his left hand. West Rutland back in the lead, 13-12. Morris comes up across timeline, kicks it back out to Davis. Davis skips it across to number 4, who's not in our program. Gets over to Duffney, back out to Davis, to number 4, to Morris in the short corner. Skips it back up to 4. Ball skipped into the center of the lane. Back out, nice pick by Drake Jankowski. He's pushing it up, tries throwing the ball over the top. It goes off Laughlin's hand, and it's gonna go back to the Eagles. Into the game for the Arlington Eagles. Mead is gonna check into the game. Working off the screen. Keep the ball in. Laughlin's going to pick up the man. Ball's thrown to the half-court line. Skips it across, and they're able to break the little bit of press. Pick set there. Works off it. Skips it over to Davis. Davis back over number 4 to Morris down in the short corner. Back up Davis. Skips over Mead, back to Davis. Back over to number 4, gets it to Morris, down on the baseline. He's getting trapped by Hart. Dribble drive, Morris pushing, looks to throw it across. The ball's picked by Jankowski. Jankowski throws it forward to Laughlin. Laughlin up off the backboard with underhand scoop and finishes. West Rutland's brought it to a 3-point lead. Maxim going to work the player in the backcourt. Work him over. Gets up across the timeline. Maxim got him trapped at the... And we get a timeout.
30-second timeout.
And the coach calls a 30-second timeout. We're going to stay right here. The coach, I think, thought he was going to get a 5-second call on his player. He was able to break that pressure and get the pass away. So, I think he also had a sub at the table, number 23, Rogers, coming into the game.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to free, then you'll be successful.
So, Golden Horde has scored the last 4 points, stretched the lead to 15-12, 3-point lead, 5:34 to go here in the quarter. The Horde JV beat the Eagles JV down in Arlington a few weeks ago. Wound up winning by a 7-point margin, but they had a double-digit lead for the majority of the game. So number 4 with the ball, dribbles, gets trapped by Laughlin, kicks it into the high post, out for a long 3-pointer. That misses everything. Comes down to number 4, that's no good. Sanderson picks up the rebound, nice box out. Maxim dribbling up across the timeline, he dribble drives, he steps all the way through and he gets all the way to the rim. It's been the best offense for the Golden Horde. They're not putting pressure on the ball handler coming up through, and that's the 3rd time the Horde's been able to dribble drive the whole length of the court in for a layup. And on the inbound, the Arlington player stepped across the line, so it's going to go back to the Horde. So 17-12. Ball's thrown into Maxim up top. Gets it over to Forrest. Forrest back out to Jankowski. Jankowski gets worked over by Hoyt and gets it back to Maxim. Over to Laughlin. Laughlin dribble drive, puts his head down and is able to go up off the glass. Nice drive by Laughlin. Ball's thrown in to Hoyt. Hoyt comes up across, long 3-pointer, way off the mark. Ball saved by Arlington, but the second attempt is no good. Ball comes to Maxim. He dribbles up through, nobody picking him up, kicks it over to Jankowski. Jankowski, a little floater, and buries it. I think the Horde have made their last 4 shots and lead 21-12. Boyd comes up across the timeline, kicks the ball off to the side to number 4, back up into Hoyt's hands, throws it into the foul line, and that jumper's no good, comes out to Jankowski. Jankowski's gonna take the ball up this time. Skips it over to Laughlin. Laughlin down into Tyler Sanderson. Tyler Sanderson backs his man down but gets blocked from the backside. Ball's thrown up to Morris. Morris goes up. Great strip by Jankowski on his way up. Maxim dribble drive, kicks it over to Forrest. Forrest dribbles in, a little bit of contact, no good. Sanderson man on the spot. Nice offensive rebound by Tyler Sanderson, and he's able to finish up off the glass. 23-12 now. Eagles have been held scoreless in this quarter, and it's ballooned to an 11-point lead for the Horde. Ball's thrown into the foul line, and another long 3, no good. Long rebound comes out to the Eagles. Dribbles the ball back up. Big skip pass over the top to Mead. Mead kicks it back out to Hoyt. Hoyt throws it into the foul line, and there's a travel there. Young players have a tendency to try making their move without putting the ball on the deck, and they have a tendency to shuffle their feet. Into the game now for the Horde, Riley Dow taking Kyle Laughlin's place. Maxim comes up across, dribbles, kicks it over, sets a screen. Dow comes off the screen, kicks it to Ray Chapman. Ray Chapman, little stutter step, kicks it back up to Jankowski. Jankowski looks to dribble drive, works off a screen, switches it, throws it back to Maxim. Maxim dribble drive, trying to find Dow on the backside. Ball's picked off, and gonna get a carry on that dribble drive. So Rogers on the layup attempt carries the ball as he's dribbling in. So Maxim's gonna walk it up across the timeline. Gonna look to work off the screen from Dow, thrown into Sanderson down in the post, backs his man down, great job, kicks it back out to Maxim. Maxim puts it on the deck, goes up off the glass a little bit too hard, gets his rebound, gets it out to Jankowski. Jankowski kicks it to Ray Chapman. Ray Chapman dribbles in the lane, kicks it to Maxim. Maxim dribbles in the lane, goes up high off the glass, nice finish. Good ball movement there by the Horde. Got the whole Arlington team collapsed into the lane and they were able to score high off the glass. So 25-12 is the score. Boyd goes wildly into the lane, runs into Dow. Ball's thrown in close to another travel there by number 23. Ball comes, and that's the first bucket for the Eagles here in this quarter. Maxim comes up across the timeline, looking for some movement, kicks it out to Jankowski way outside the three-point arc. He's calling for the clear out, kicks it to Maxim. Maxim kicks it to Ray Chapman. Maxim into Sanderson. A lot of contact there. A lot of contact on the drive by Sanderson, no call, and then they're going to call Maxim for the hand check. And Laughlin's going to come in for Maxim. So 14 fouls, minute 23 to go here in the quarter. Nobody boxing out on that attempt, on that long rebound. That rebound comes down to Morris, and then the pass is picked off by Ray Chapman. It's like he might be handling the point guard duty with Maxim off the floor. Ray Chapman comes up across, nobody picking him up, thinks about the three, fires it over Laughlin, finds Dow in the short corner, back out to Laughlin. Good ball movement, that's long, and rebound comes down to the Eagles. Morris to bring it up across the timeline. He's going to launch the long three, that's no good. Battle for the rebound, last touch by the Eagles. 47 seconds to go here in the first half. 11-point lead for the Horde, 25-14. Ball's going to be thrown into Laughlin. Laughlin across to Ray Chapman, and the ball's picked off by Hoyt on that long cross-court pass. And Ray Chapman. And Hoyt's clapping his hands at that last foul call on Chapman. So that's 5. 2 more and they'll be in the bonus, but not much time left here in the quarter. Ball's thrown into the foul line. It's picked off. Ray Chapman looking up over the top, kicks it to Jankowski. Jankowski dribble drive, gets picked up, gets it to Dow, kicks it back out to Ray Chapman. Back to Laughlin, back to Ray Chapman. Some contact there. Nice feed to Dow, who finishes off the glass. Nice dribble drive by Chapman. A lot of contact there. That's a long three off the front of the rim. Dow grabs the rebound. Laughlin with the full court heave. Wouldn't have been good, I don't think, if it would have gone. And that is how the quarter ends. So 27-14, 13-point lead for the Horde. And we're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back for second half action. It's going to be the Golden Horde ball with a 13-point lead, start of the third quarter. Maxim, Jankowski, Laughlin, Chapman, and Hart on the floor for the Golden Horde. On the floor for the Arlington Eagles, you have Hoyt, Morris, Rogers, number 13, which I think is Bailey Cross, and number 4, which I still haven't found a name for him yet. So Jankowski looking to kick the ball and gets it into Laughlin. Laughlin drives it out to Maxim at the top of the key, finds off of Maxim, a little stutter step, gets in the lane, kicks it back out to Jankowski, sets his feet, no good. Laughlin up over his head, no good, grabs a rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. And the ball is going to go back to the Eagles on the alternate possession. So working off the screen, the ball's thrown in. Maxim working him from behind. Dribbles, cross up, gets across the timeline. Kicks it, gets it down. Find the man in the center of the lane. They've been able to find Rogers in the center of the lane almost at will. That cuts the lead to 11. Laughlin with the ball, being checked on the outside. Gets it over to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman being worked by Hoyt. Kicks it to Maxim. Maxim off the dribble. Drive, little floater up over the top, and it's good. Ball's thrown in to Hoyt. Hoyt throws it up over the top, and that's way too far, and the Eagles lose the ball out of bounds. Good thought by Hoyt, but it was a little bit wide of his target, and his player wasn't able to run it down. So Arlington staying in their man-to-man. Maxim walks it up across the timeline, waiting for his players to get set. Picks up his dribble, finds Wright Chapman on the cut across, and ball's turned over. Hoyt comes back up across. Horde gonna stay in their zone. Long threes fired up, and nobody boxing out on number 23 Rogers, and then Laughlin picks up a foul on Rogers' shot attempt. Laughlin's first of the second half for the Golden Horde. 29-16, 13-point lead. Shooting 2. First one's up, off the iron, no good. So 1 left for the Eagles. So Rogers, 1 more to go. Takes a few dribbles, puts it up. That one is good. So it goes 1 for 2 on that trip from the line. A little bit of 3-quarter press here by the Eagles. Ball's thrown to Hart in the short corner. Hart short on that attempt and is able to battle for the rebound. And he forces the jump ball. So on the alternate possession, it's going to go back to Maxim, or back to the Horde. Ball's being inbounded by Jankowski, throws it over the top to Maxim up top. They're going to stay in his zone. Maxim dribbles, penetrates, he goes with the floater up off the iron, no good. Ball's tipped over the top, running down through, little stutter step there, kicks it back out. Hoyt gets the ball, thrown into the high post, ball skipped across, down into the short corner, back up top. Number 4 thinks about the 3, kicks it back down to Morris. Morris goes up, and Laughlin's going to be whistled for his second foul. And Morris is going to go to the line to shoot 2. 12-point lead for the Horde, 29-17. Laughlin's second, team second. 5:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. First one's up. That's off the back iron, no good. Second attempt coming for Morris from the line. Shots up, and that one is good. So he goes 1 for 2. Ball's thrown in. Eric Maxim drives by his man, gets picked up by Hoyt, kicks it back over to Maxim, over to Laughlin, back to Maxim. Swings it back over to Laughlin, gets it in Jankowski in the post. Nice little spin move there, no good. And Hart's not able to pick it up. Ball's picked. Maxim gets the steal, dishes it across. The ball's kicked with no call. Hoyt goes around his back, throws the pass. It's tipped away by Hart. So 11-point lead. Ball's fired in. Long 3-pointer. That's no good. And Jankowski off the tip from Chapman comes down with a rebound. Jankowski comes up across timeline, gets it to Laughlin. Laughlin dribble drive, tries firing a pass to Hart. Morris dips his head and drives, and Jankowski is going to be whistled for the foul. Second on Jankowski. Morris back to the line to shoot 2. First one's up, and that one is good. So that cuts the lead to 10 for the Horde. 1 more attempt coming for Morris from the line. 5:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Second one is up. That one rattles around and falls through. This ball's going to be inbounded to Maxim. He's going to dribble up across the timeline, crosses up his man, finds Hart in the short corner, big skip across, gets over to Laughlin, back to Jankowski. Jankowski dribbles, kicks it back out to Maxim. Maxim over to Laughlin. Back to Maxim. Gets to Hart in the center of the lane. Kicks it out to right Chapman. Right Chapman being worked by Hoyt. Ball's thrown across to Laughlin, and good post defense there. Gets back in Laughlin's hand. He goes to the basket. And Kyle Laughlin's going to pick up his 3rd foul of the quarter on the offensive foul. So the ball's going to be inbounded by Arlington. It's a 9-point lead for the Horde. They're going to throw the ball in. Get it into number 4. Being worked by Maxim in the backcourt. Dribbles up across the line, kicks it to the corner. Long 3-pointer going up. That is way off the iron. Rebounds, grab. Morris from the backside. Backside, last touch by Maxim, so it's going to go to the Eagles. Ball's thrown into Hoyt. Hoyt floats it into the lane, kick back out. Number 4, dribble drive, kicks it back out to 13. 13 dribbles across, throws it across to Hoyt, gets it in the high post. Dribbled by number 4, gets it in Morris, back out to 4 for the long 3. That's off the iron, no good. Laughlin grabs the rebound, throws it up. Don't know where he was trying to go with that. Ball comes down. Maxim gets hammered by Hoyt, and it will go to the line to shoot 2. Second on Hoyt, first of the second half for the Eagles. So Maxim's going to go to the line to shoot 2. First attempt is up, and that is good. Back to a 10-point lead. Maxim at the line for his second. That one's up. That's long off the iron. Tipped out. Comes out to number 13's dribble drive. Goes up off the glass. No good. A lot of contact there. No call. Dribble drive. And Morris takes a lot of steps on the way to the hoop, but they're going to call the foul on Garrett Waite instead. It's 5 team fouls on the Horde here in the 3rd quarter. Just 1 for the Arlington Eagles. So Morris is going to be at the line again. First attempt is up, and that one is good. Coming out of the game, number 23, Rogers. Into the game, number 20, Yaltz. So second attempt for Morris. Shot attempts up, and that one is good. So Morris has gone 4 for 4 his last 4 trips to the line. Maxim brings it up across the timeline, kicks it over to Laughlin. Laughlin with 2 dribbles gets it into Forrest. Forrest with a dribble across. Looked like there might have been a few steps there, but was able to finish with his left hand. Hoyt coming up across the timeline, fires it to the corner, long 3-pointer up, and that is good. Number 13, Bailey Cross, shoots a lot of 3s. Maxim dribble drive, finds Forrest on the back post, the backside of the goal, and he's not able to finish, but gets his own rebound, and he's going to earn a trip to the line. Number 4 is going to pick up the foul. 2 shots coming for Forrest from the free throw line. And first one is up, and that is good. So into the game, Michael Barrett is in. And also into the game, Matt Hart. Going out of the game, Laughlin and Jankowski. 33-25, Horde in front. Second attempt from Forrest is good. The ball's thrown in to Hoyt. Hoyt comes up across the timeline. He's going to launch the 3. That's way short. Ball's tracked down by Waite. Waite gets it to Maxim. Maxim looking to push it. Dribbles up across the timeline. That's the last touch by the Eagles. And it's going to be West Rutland ball. Ball's thrown over the top to Maxim. Maxim dribble drives, gets all the way to the basket, high off the glass, no good. And Matt Hart in there for the rebound, battles and creates a jump ball. And on the alternate possession, that's going to go back to the Eagles. Ball goes into Hoyt. Hoyt dribbling up across the timeline. Dribbles, kicks it to the corner to Cross. Cross comes off the dribble, is dribbling around the top. Swings it to Hoyt. Hoyt down into the short corner. That 2-point attempt's no good. And Mikey Barrett comes down with the rebound. Dribbling all the way down, fires it up off the backboard, no good. Brendan Forrest, man on the spot, and he's gonna get the bucket and the foul. And that's gonna be the third foul on Hoyt, and Brendan Forrest is going to go to line to try completing the 3-point play. And that rattles around, falls off the side of the rim, but great hustle by Matt Hart. Fires the ball up over the top. And an over and back call, even though the Arlington player touched it, that caused the deflection to go over the back of the court. So the ball goes back to the Arlington Eagles. It's 36-25. Gonna work off the screen. Hoyt fires it down, and that's no good. And must have been blocked by the Golden Horde because the ball goes out of bounds and it goes back to the Eagles. So the ball's thrown in. Nobody closes down the lane. Number 30 just finds a soft spot in the middle of the lane. And he's going to get fouled by Garrett Waite, I believe is who they called that foul on. Yeah, Waite second. So number 30 is going to be at the line to shoot 2. Duffney misses the first. Second attempt for Duffney. That one's up, and that one is good. So that's now a 10-point lead. And checking into the game, number 4, and Hoyt's going to come out of the game. Maxim gets the ball in the backcourt, putting a little token pressure on him, surveying the scene. Gets it over to Waite. Waite takes a couple dribbles, kicks it to Hart in the 3-point arc. Nice back cut by Garrett Waite, and he finishes at the rim. Nice 2-man game there. Ball thrown into Cross. Cross dribbling up the court, driving, and they're going to call Hart for the block, and that's going to make it 1-1. So Arlington is going to shoot in the bonus for the remainder of the game. That's 17 fouls on the Golden Horde with 1:29 to go here in the third quarter. So it could be a long ending to this game with a lot of foul shots. So Cross is going to shoot from the line for 2. Or 1-1, sorry, my bad. And the rebound is grabbed down. Mikey Barrett gets the outlet pass, gives it back to Maxim. Maxim skips it to Waite. Waite back to Maxim. Maxim dribbling, looking to find a way to get it into Forrest. Forrest, nice little spin move, comes up short. Great hustle by Matt Hart. Kicks it back out to Maxim. Maxim dribble drives his man. Steps through, gets it to Barrett. Barrett gets it into Maxim. Maxim crosses up his man, kicks it back out to Waite. Back at the Barrett. Barrett dribbling outside the 3-point arc, gets it to Waite. Back to Barrett. Barrett dribble drive, kicks it back out to Forrest. Forrest dribbles into the center of the lane. Nice little one-handed runner. No good. Ball skipped to the far side. Comes up across the timeline, skips the ball across. Number 22 launches the long 3, and rebound comes down to Waite. Gets it to Maxim. Nobody's going to pick him up, and he's going to dribble drive all the way in. And Brendan Forrest comes underneath Maxim as he's trying to go in for the layup and makes a great defensive play on Maxim. But the ball's last touched by the Horde. So the Eagles ball. The ball's thrown into Cross. Cross dribbling up the sideline. And they're going to call Hart for another push. 8th team foul on the Horde, 23.1 seconds to go here. 38-26. And that's Hart's second. And it's going to be 1-on-1 again for Cross. He came up empty at his last trip of the line in the 1-on-1. So the front end of this 1-on-1 is up, and that's no good. Rebound down to number 4. And Matt Hart just picked up foul number 3 on that drive. So on that first attempt, there was no boxing out, just jumping at the ball. Ball comes down to number 4, and he's able to earn his way back. Last chance at a 1-on-1 here. So I just heard the coach call him Lane, which I'm assuming is Lane Nolan. Second attempt is up and good. So 20.2 seconds to go, 10-point lead for the Horde. Maxim brings it up. Wade's gonna fire up the long 3. That's no good. Michael Barrett gets the rebound, comes to Maxim. 6 seconds to go. Maxim dribble drive, gets hit. And that is gonna be no good. That came way after the horn. So that is no good. We're going to finish the quarter at 38-28, 10-point lead for the Horde. And we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back for fourth quarter action. So we're going to be here back for fourth quarter action. 10-point lead for the Horde. Maxim with the ball. Ball gets into Brendan Forrest down in the post. He backs his man down real easily and is able to finish over his man. No press. Start this fourth quarter, I think because of the number of fouls that they have. Ball's thrown into the short corner. Gets trapped there. Back out to Duffney. Picks it over to number 4. Back to Duffney. Duffney's going to launch the long 3. It's off the iron, no good. Nobody boxes out Duffney. Gets his own rebound. Short corner shot, no good. Brendan Forrest gets it ripped away. And Brendan Forrest, I think, is going to pick up a foul. So Jankowski picks up his 3rd. And that's the 10th on the team. So the remainder of the way, every time the Horde fouls, it's going to be 2 shots for the Eagles. Duffney's first shot is off the rim and no good. Second attempt coming for Duffney. It's up. That's no good as well. Nice rebound by Forrest. Gets it to Maxim. Maxim looking up. Gets it to Laughlin. Laughlin puts it on the deck. Dribble drive. Goes in, draws a lot of contact with no call. So 7:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. 12-point lead for the Horde. Ball's dribble up across the timeline. Big skip over to Duffney. Duffney down in the short corner. Back out to Duffney just inside the 3-point arc. Skips it over to number 4. Back to Duffney. Duffney launches the 3. Must have had a toe on the line. They're only going to credit that with a 2, so 10-point lead. Maxim coming down across the lane, or across the timeline, kicks it to Laughlin. Laughlin back to Maxim. Big skip over to Chapman. Right Chapman back to Maxim. Fires it into the post to Jankowski, and they're going to get a foul on the backside on the Eagle reaching through. So the explanation on why the whistle came a little bit late there, he went to blow his whistle and it went right out of his mouth. So it sounded like the whistle came out really late. Ball's kicked into Forrest. Forrest puts it on the deck, backs it out, gets it to Laughlin, or Chapman. Jankowski really long on his 3-point attempt. Maxim steals the ball, goes up with his left hand, no good. So nice steal there, wasn't able to finish with the left hand. Dribble drive, gets it in, kicks it over to the short corner shot is good. 8-point lead for the Horde. Maxim coming up across the timeline. Being checked, skips it to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman looking to get it into Jankowski in the post. Maxim fires it in. Nice bounce pass into Jankowski. Up, and that's going to be counted. So Jankowski, much smaller man, and down in the post. And he's able to finish up over the shorter player. And Jankowski is going to go to the line to try finishing the 3-point play. Lead back up to 10, 42-32. Just under 6 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Jankowski, perfect from the line, so completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. Sorry, Chapman picking up the ball carrier, number 4. Ball skipped over to number 3, Gamble. Gamble, big fire across to Duffney. Duffney goes way long. Rebound comes down to Forrest. Maxim up over the top to Jankowski, and he finishes. Good find over the top. Arlington trying to press, and Jankowski got matched up with a much slower player and was able to finish at the rim. Duffney gets the ball outside the arc, kicks it down to the short corner, back to Duffney, over to number 4. Number 4 into the high post. Closes it down. Nice block by Forrest. Wright Chapman stops and pops inside the 3-point arc. That's no good. Fires it. Duffney with a hard dribble, not able to finish at the rim. It comes down to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman dribbles up across the timeline. Spin dribble, gets it to Maxim. Maxim, a little hesitation on his dribble. Looking for his man. Gets it into Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman gets it to Dow. Dow out to Jankowski to Maxim, back to Rue. Brendan Forrest. Dribble drive. Gets tangled up with some feet, falls down, and loses the ball out of bounds. So ball back to Arlington, 4:40 to go, 13-point lead for the Horde. So the ball's thrown in. Number 4 picks the ball up in front court. Duffney gets it. Ball's thrown back to Duffney. Back across number 4 over to 3, which is Gamble. And shot's no good. Jankowski pulls down the rebound. And once again, ball, Arlington not doing a good job stopping the ball. Jankowski is able to get all the way to the rim, but comes up short on that jumper. And then last touch by Brendan Forrest. Ball's lost out of bounds. So 45-32, Eagles ball. Hoyt comes back into the game for the Eagles. Also back into the game is Morris. Hoyt throws the ball into the foul line. Foul line jumper, rattles around and gets the shooter's bounce and falls through. 45-34. Maxim with the ball. Floats it into Dow, but the ball goes off his hands. Ball's fired. Morris finds Hoyt. Hoyt, little jumper. And that cuts it to a 9-point lead. It's going to be a full timeout by the Eagles, so we're going to take a short break and we'll be back for action after the timeout. Okay, so we're back to action here in the fourth quarter. 3:54 to go. Eagles just cut the lead to 9, and they're coming out in a full court press. So Jankowski looking to get the ball in, throws it over the top to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman finds Dow. Dow tries firing across, the ball is picked. And it's knocked away by Maxim and comes back to Wright Chapman. Gets into Maxim's hands. Maxim fires the pass, finds Brendan Forrest on a half-court chest pass, and he finishes at the rim. See if Arlington stays in the full court press, because the Horde was able to break that pretty easily. A lot of contact there, no foul called. That shot is up and no good. Ball's battled for by Morris. Good hustle, saves the ball, and it's going to be last touched by Wright Chapman, they say. So the ball is going to go back to the Arlington Eagles. 3:13 to go, 11-point lead for the Horde. All into Hoyt, kicks it to Morris. Morris into the lane. Forrest leaves his feet for the block. Morris. And then they dump that ball into the lane. Rebound down by Jankowski. Jankowski being worked in the backcourt a little bit. Kicks it over to Maxim. Maxim gets it to right Chapman. Back to Maxim. Back to Jankowski. Jankowski's gonna work off a screen. Looking for the screen and roll. Gets it to Maxim. Maxim fires it into the post to Brennan Forrest. Dribble drives, goes up and underneath. A nice finish with the left hand. Nice up and under. And clock's still running and they rolling the ball in because it wasn't stopped on that injury. Ball's fired to Morris in the corner. Morris gets it into the post. Forrest bites on the fake and finish at the rim by Rogers. So he's going to go to the foul line to try finishing the three-point play. At the foul line to try finishing the three-point play. That shot's up short, but gets the shooter's bounce. So the ball's going to be inbounded here. Throw it on the press. Ball comes into Maxim. Gets by all his men. Dribble drive. Gets blocked. Ball's forward to Hoyt. Hoyt goes up off the backboard. No good. Right Chapman pulling the ball. Coach is yelling, hold it up. Loses the handle on the ball. Forwards dribble drive. Fires up the runner. No good. And the rebound comes down to Jankowski. Jankowski, the ball gets knocked away. Ball's fired to the corner, lost by Hoyt out of bounds. And Coach Donnie Dunch is going to ask for a timeout. I think this is 30-second variety, but I think we're going to stay right here. I think he's just going to talk to them about slowing down. This is one of those incidents, is time and score. The Horde are leading by 10, and the way they were playing the last minute or so frantically, you would think that the score would be reversed right now. So, going to be a West Rutland ball on the end line on the turnover by the Eagles, and we'll see if they're going to employ the press that they've been trying to work with. It looks like they're going to employ at least a little bit of pressure here. So Jankowski's got the ball. And he's got to hold his spot because this was just lost out of bounds. It wasn't scoring. Ball's thrown into Maxim. Maxim's able to get the ball, goes by his man, pulls it back out, and he's just going to hold the ball up top, gets it to Jankowski, gets it to Chapman. Chapman's going to fire the long three off the side of the backboard, no good. And Morris is going to pick up the foul. Gets it into Forrest. Forrest back to Jankowski. He's going to launch the three. Gets it back out to Maxim. Maxim fires it in, and it's over Sanderson's head. I think that coach might have told Maxim to just stand out by the foul line or three-point line until somebody comes and gets him, and then move the ball after that. Sanderson working his man. That shot goes up. That's wide of the target. Jankowski gets the ball, gets it over to Maxim. Maxim's just going to dribble up top. It's going to be worked and gets fouled. So now it's 1-1, 10-point lead, under a minute to go. Maxim's going to go to the line to shoot. Forrest is going to come out of the game, and Barrett's going to go back in. And checking into the game, number 22, and checking out of the game is going to be Hoyt. First one for Maxim is long, off the back of the iron, no good. Morris dribbles up across the timeline, dribble drive, nice block on the backside. Ball comes down to Maxim, fires it over the top to Jankowski. Jankowski goes into a lot of traffic. one of those incidences where time and score, realizing it, and Arlington Eagle give the ball back to the Horde. So it's a 10-point lead for the Horde. Ball comes in. Maxim gets knocked down when he's trying to cut to the ball with no call, and then Wright Chapman travels at the half-court line. This ball's thrown into Morris, back over to number 22. He's going to launch the long three. That's no good. And Barrett battling for the ball. Last touch by the Horde. 26.5 seconds to go, 10-point lead. So they think this one's over. Horde's going to get another victory. That ball's fired up off the backboard. Nobody from the Horde even looking to grab that rebound. And we do have a jump ball. And it's going to go to Arlington on alternating possession. 21.9 seconds to go. Ball's fired in. Long three-pointer. That's no good. Way long. Gets it to Sanderson. Out to Wright Chapman. Wright Chapman dribbling the ball in the backcourt. Fires it to Maxim. And it goes off his hands, out of bounds. So real sloppy here to finish this game. Ball's fired in. Skip it over to Morris. Morris is going to launch a long three. That's short of the target, and it's kicked out of bounds by Arlington. So that's going to just about do it. Jankowski fires the ball into Chapman. Chapman should just stand with the ball. And the game is going to end. 10-point win for the Golden Horde here in West Rutland against the Arlington Eagles, 49-39. We'll be back shortly for the varsity action. Thank you and have a good night.